Frederick Myers starting tonight?
Oh my God. Okay.
What was this?
Lathrop, Malemutes, first time here. They've had a good run at it, and they kind of shut you guys down last night.
Pretty athletic team. I think it was a battle of turnovers last night. We're hoping to cut ours in half, maybe have a little more success, but they're a pretty athletic team and they play hard.
Well, if you get some of your shooters that usually can do a little better than they did last night, that Lathrop will have a good game on their hands.
The biggest thing for us is the turnovers. We've got to cut those at least in half.
All right, we'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow.
Right on, go Rams.
Okay, Archie, there you go, man. All right, there you go, and that was Archie Young.
Okay. Jake Johnson is my bad.
A 5'9" sophomore, number 5, Stanley John. A 5'10" sophomore, number 20, Graham Wappett. A 6'4" junior, number 32, Carter Mahler. And a 6'3" senior, number 42, Michael Fernandez. And now for your Mt.Edgecumbe Braves. A 5'8" sophomore from Pilot Station, number 10, Frederick Myers. A 5'10" sophomore from St. Mary's, number 21, R.J. Alstrom Beans. A 6'1" senior from Dillingham, number 24, Emmett Dunaway. A 6'2" senior from Anchorage, number 33, Bear Brown. A 6'1" sophomore from Mantassa Lake, number 42, Jeff Adams. The Braves are coached by Archie Young. The Malemutes by Matt Wilkin. Play ball.
How much time? How much time?
15 seconds.
Can't hear you.
Don't know why. 10 seconds. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
5, 4, 2.
All right, welcome back, and the game's underway. And the tip-off at center jump circle goes over to the Lathrop Malemutes, and they'll bring it down and pass it around the perimeter, and a good defensive move by the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves, and the Braves cause a turnover, and Lathrop will lose the ball away, and the Mt.Edgecumbe will bring it down. And top of the key to set things up is going to be R.J. Alstrom Beans. Beans will come over on the near side as he gives it off to number 10, Frederick Myers, one of the starters tonight for Mt.Edgecumbe, as he works it down to Bear Brown. Back out to Myers, across the way to R.J. on the left side. Now they're going to work it over to Bear Brown, who came out from underneath, moves over to the left side. Back over to Frederick Myers, pass to him, and it's stolen away. Lathrop has a chance for a layup. A nice defensive move as Bear Brown got down there. No, that was R.J. that got down very quickly. Shut off the layup from the left. Good move, and he did it cleanly. Back over for Lathrop. They'll give it to Makai Brigham. Shot up from the right side. Won't go. Reverse turnaround jumper picked off by Michael Fernandez, who puts it up, and Michael's shot misses. He was a big center for the Lathrop Malemutes. And shots missed, 3 of them attempted by Lathrop. No score yet with 1:15 gone here in the first quarter. Back we go the other way. Bear Brown on the far side. They work it around to R.J. Down underneath to Emmett Dunaway. Handles the first time on the right end baseline. Can't shoot. Back over to R.J. Now bounce pass to Bear Brown. He tries to go in the middle, and it stolen away. A turnover on a bad pass. Well, it was a good pass, but it was a quick move by Lathrop. And they we're going to have a charge on that one.
Yeah, RJ definitely held his ground there. He just got leveled.
Yeah, that was kind of one of those plays you don't want to see very often. But
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Mike Clasby along with Andrew Frisky bringing you the play-by-play here at Mt.Edgecumbe for this final of 13 games this week. And we've got games going on over at Sitka High as well. And I'm going to see real quick, Andrew, if you want to watch that, I'll see if I can find out what we got caught up here. Let's see. We've got girls going, and Homer going against the Lady Wolves. Go ahead.
Yeah, Emmett Dunaway with a nice up and under there and had 2 points.
2-0 now in favor of the Braves. And over at Sitka High for you Wolves fans, Homer with 2:55 left to go in the second is leading the Lady Wolves by a score of 10-8. So that's a pretty low-scoring game over there. We'll keep you tuned into that one as we were not able to bring games from both gyms this weekend. And where are we at here?
Number 32 there, Carter Mahler went out of bounds on him, and Edgecumbe got the ball back.
Right, we only have one foul in the ball game, and that is against the Malemutes number 1, Jacoby Johnson. Did Jacoby get it, or where were we on fouls?
The first foul was on Brigman.
Oh, Brigman got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got too many things going on at once here, Andrew. Hey, I'm going to hand that to you for a minute. I've got to talk to K-High.
All right. Number 32 there, Carter Mahler was fouled. Missed his first free throw. He's got one more to go.
I need word.
Carter eyes the basket, shoots it, and misses off the top of the rim. Down the rebound, Jeff Adams.
All right, thank you, Andrew. And I just got a call from Hero down in Ketchikan, and he forgot to write down his score, so I'm going to text it to you, Hero. Those board ops have a lot going on at once, and I certainly thank them for their efforts as they keep us on the board as Mt.Edgecumbe comes down, putting one up. So this is going to be a good scrappy game. I think that this should be one of our better games of the week, Andrew.
Well, I hope so, because as long as the turnovers stay down. And I know with Edgecumbe we got 3 pretty inexperienced players playing right now, but talk about some good experience for them playing out there on the court tonight.
You know, I love watching Emmett Dunaway. He just reached over the back, blocked a shot, did it cleanly, got the ball from in front of the player that he blocked it from, brings it down, goes coast to coast, lays it up, and the ball is stuck between the rim and the backboard.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often. But
I was watching on TV. I was watching some college game or something that happened, and I thought, well, I was sitting there, I wonder what the percentage would be. How many times would you have to shoot it trying to stick it there before you finally did?
I guess it's probably 1/500, I guess, somewhere in there.
Whistle and a foul on number 42, Michael Fernandez, and that brings Emmett Dunaway to the free throw line, and Emmett's going to pop one in from the charity stripe and make it a 3-0 ball game. So Lathrop has not been able to score yet. Mt.Edgecumbe is starting off here, and Dunaway's going to shoot another.
Well, Emmett coming out pretty aggressive, which is good. I know Coach Allen will be happy to see Emmett getting out there and playing hard, not getting the foul trouble.
Next one rims around and won't go in. 3-0 game. And I need the score of that ladies' game, Andrew. I don't remember what it was.
40.
Yep.
It was 42.
57? No, that's not right.
Oh, wait, that was last night.
That was ahead of time. There you go.
It's 46-35.
46-35 for you folks that might have just tuned in, and that was the Lady Braves going against the Lady Kings from K-High. And that was a big surprise for K-High, I think. As the Lady Braves played probably the best game in 2 years, and we still got a 3-0 ball game where we're going to come down the other way, and Lathrop's going to try to lay one up on the right side. It's not going to go. They can't buy a bucket. We've gone over 4 minutes. They're held scoreless. Having said that, Mt.Edgecumbe only has 1 2-pointer and a free throw, and those all belong to Emmett Dunaway.
Yeah, right now there's a higher turnover than points. It's 5-4 on turnovers. number 2, Mackay Brigman, misses his first free throw. He's going to eye for the second. Up and miss.
0 for 2, 3 minutes and 53 to go, and Lathrop tries a little shot from the left side, and that one put up by Michael Fernandez, and Michael, in spite of his height advantage down there, just not able to get an inside shot to drop for him, and Bear Brown's going to come down with Mt.Edgecumbe, and he'll come on the near side, tries a 3, that one won't go. Lathrop gets the rebound. They're going to go over and go to Mackay Brigman, who brings it across the timeline. He'll work it down underneath, reverse layup by Mahler, that one won't go, and guess who gets the rebound? Another nice move by Emmett Dunaway. Emmett's going to come down. He gives off to, is that Doc in? It is. Doc on the right-hand dribble, comes back over, now gives it to RJ. RJ down to Dunaway, right-hand baseline. Back to RJ, and they try and throw it inside. Open underneath there was Jeff Adams, but he was a bit of a high pass, and Adams couldn't get a shot off. Now David Doc will inbound it. Foul on
number 32, Carter Mahler.
Okay, Mahler gets it for Lathrop. So with 3:03 to go and still a 3-0 ball game, it'll be the Braves ball in backcourt. It'll be David Doc to inbound it. Doc goes into RJ Alstrom Beans. Back to Doc across the timeline. Alstrom cuts over to the left, and he'll get the pass. Can't shoot. Back out to Emmett Dunaway. Dunaway out at midcourt. The senior passes off to David Doc. David, a 5'5" junior, shortest guy on the floor at the moment. John Rones is close, but back we go the other way on a steal, and I name him, and he shoots it. John Rones, junior at 5'9", gets the first bucket for the Lathrop Malemutes, and it's a 3-2 ball game, and David Doc tries to pass it at midcourt and gets it knocked away. Emmett Dunaway was the intended receiver. A whistle and a foul, and I believe that's going to go against the Malemutes. Now we got a bunch of substitutions coming in. So let's see, for going to sit down is 21, 24, and 4. So that's going to be RJ, David Doc, and Emmett Dunaway. And coming in is number 10, Frederick Myers, and Keith Johns is in. And another steal by Lathrop. And they're going to come down. Nice give and go. He thought he was going to drive the lane shoot, but didn't. Pass it off nicely, as it was Rones to give it off to Jacoby Johnson. Back out now, they go over to Kyler Hall in for the Lathrop Malemutes. Coming over, and he'll give it off to Jace Johnson. Johnson goes down to the left baseline, gives it off to Rones, and Rones shoots it up. Will go rebound, fast break all the way down. Jump shot up by Bear Brown. He's going to be whistled and fouled by number 24, Kyler Hall.
Well, that's probably the best play that Braves have had all night. They got the board, they got a good transition look, and they got fouled, so no turnovers.
There you go. So Bear Brown, with less than 2 minutes to go, let's go to the free throw line. So a pretty low-scoring first quarter. Not as low as the fourth quarter last game, however, by the Lady Kings, who only ended up picking up 2 free throws in the whole entire fourth quarter. And the Lady Braves beat them on the back of that. And the Lady Braves play some solid ball. This shot's up, it's in, and it's good. And it's now a 4-2 ball game with Bear Brown ready for his second shot. He's 1 for 1 at the stripe. Emmett Dunaway has the other 3. This one's up, and Bear has 2, so between him and Dunaway, it's a 5-2 ball game, and a minute 56 as the first quarter clock starts to tick away, and coming down it'll be John Rones to bring it across for Lathrop. Rones will give it on the near side to Jacoby Johnson, back to Rones, left-hand baseline, drives in, shoots up over the top of Drew Jackson in now, and Jackson pretty tall, but the shot got off and it was way short. I'm sure that height intimidated him with both his arms up in the air. He was about 10 feet tall. Back we go the other way. The Braves get the rebound. They're going to set it up. They'll come over and go to Keith Johns. Johns back over to Frederick Myers. Myers, a 5'8" sophomore. Back to Johns, now to Bear Brown. Back out Johns, top of the key. He dribbles once. He gets shut off by Jacoby Johnson, so he'll pass it back to Bear Brown on the near side. Brown will set it up. Now he'll go to Keith Johns, and another steal. Nice move by Lathrop, and a layup in, and John Rones comes up with another 2. It's now 5-4, and we're nearing the 1 minute mark, and now we're under the 1 minute mark as the Braves will bring it down. Boy, they are hustling. I'll tell you what. Here, Bear Brown in the lane, puts it up, shot misses, whistle, foul.
Yeah, there's a lot of hustle out there. It's it's back and forth hustle. I guess I would call it hustle without a purpose.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of effort out there. It's just you need to start focusing that effort on not turn the ball over and attacking the basket under control.
So you ever see hustle without a purpose happen in your games?
All the time.
All the time. Well, we've got your tournament here this year. How many teams did you have? 23?
We had 23. Well, I guess, yeah, as you get older, you really have to focus on the purpose because the hustle's usually not there. So
well, I talked to Archie Young and said, because I got to watch him play. I've never seen him on the floor before. I knew he played before. As Bear Brown misses another one. 5-4. We're under a minute to go. Here comes Lathrop on their way down as they got the rebound. It'll be Jacoby Johnson. The drive to the left side goes out top of the key. He'll put up a three. Won't go. Rebound underneath. Look at that. That was a funny look. It was John Rones, who's 5'9". He was trying to pick up that ball, bent over in between Bear Brown and Jeff Adams, and he looked like he was about 2 feet tall between those two tall guys. Inbounds pass comes into Lathrop. Long three, left side. That one put up by number 10, Jace Johnson. His shot misses. Rebounds cleared off by the Braves. 34 seconds as they bring it down. Over on the far side, it'll be Myers over to David Dokes back in. Dokes bounce passes down on the right-hand baseline. Gives it Adams. Adams turnaround jumper gets in between number 10 and number 24. And that is Jace Johnson and Kyler Hall. And one of those two is going to get a whistle and a foul, and it'll be the Braves going to the free throw line.
Yeah, the foul was on Kyler Hall, which is his second foul. He did not agree with the call, but the coach, Matt's trying to tell him that, yes, it was a foul. You need to stay down on your feet.
Up in and good is Michael Fernandez, a 6'3 senior, nails one for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves and makes it a 6-4 2-point lead. Bear Brown comes out. Back in is Emmett Dunaway, who got a breather, and he deserved it. Boy, he came out like lightning in that first quarter.
That was actually Jeffrey Adams shooting.
Oh, you're right. Sorry about that. I'm looking at the
you
wrong
got 42,
roster.
Right? Just different roster.
Jeff Adams nails two, and it's 7-4. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do that. And, you know, I used to feel bad when I make those silly mistakes till I hear all the other announcers doing the same thing. Oh, nice three, right side. Tyreek Luke just came in, and that was a three. And guess what, folks? We got a brand-new ball game, all tied up at 7 points.
Yeah, Tyreek, freshman. He's got a nice-looking shot there.
He's got a good future in front of him for some high school basketball years.
Backboard. Oh.
Long three up off the glass buzzer. That's the end of our first quarter. We're all knotted up at 7. We'll start a brand new ball game in 1 minute. We'll be right back over AM 1230 KIFW.
It's time to be thinking about you and your baby checks from now until February 19th. Special order checks from Ticket True Value. Ticket True Value has new choices like Cinnamon Green, the Brown Leghorn, the Prairie Soup, and the
Five, four, three.
Their game a little bit after 7. They're going against the Lady Mariners from Homer, and with 6:30 to go in the third quarter, the Lady Wolves are up by a score of 16-10 over the Lady Mariners. We're back in action here with a 7-7 tie to end the first quarter. And it'll be the Braves that come in and start off the second quarter. We're going to have a whistle and a big foul by Jacoby Johnson.
Big foul by a little guy, but
David Dock and Jacoby probably about the same size. Good collision as David mishandled the ball and Jacoby was going to come and get it. However, between him and the basketball was a little player by the name of David Dock, a 5'5 junior, and he got hammered. That's kind of like what the play we might see tomorrow in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know, talking about the Super Bowl, I've never been a Patriots fan until Brady turned 40 and I turned 40. So we're both the same age, and I am a huge Brady fan now.
Now, because you know what he has to go through out there at that age?
Yeah, exactly. If he can be playing at that level at that age, then I am all for him.
There you go.
A lot of boos out there, but man, that is impressive.
Okay, David Dock makes 2 from the line. It's 9-7. That brings me back to when I was talking to Archie Young. So during your tournament, I came over to watch a game one night, and he was playing. He was out there with Rich Krupa and a bunch of the old guys. And I saw him later. I was pretty impressed with him. And he goes, this was like a week later. I said, hey, Coach, you look pretty good out there on the floor. I was impressed. I said, I'd never seen you out on the gym floor other than coaching your team. Nice straight from the right side, nothing but net. Give that one to number 1, Jacoby Johnson, the 5'5 freshman for Lathrop, and they now have their first lead of the ball game, 10-9, up by 1, and the Braves almost lose it away and over and back, but it got touched by Lathrop, so picking it up and we cover it behind the timeline is David Dock. He'll bring it back to Emmett Dunaway. See, if you take 2 names and put them together, you come up with that.
I knew exactly who you were talking about.
And Emmett drives down and tries to put it up, stops the clock at 7 minutes. Whistle and the foul as Emmett will go to that. Anyway, so I talked to Archie. He says, and I think this was 2 days ago, he said, man, I am still paying for that.
Well, you know, yeah, Archie, one of the better basketball players to come out of Alaska. He's in the Alaska ASAA Hall of Fame for
Is
his
he really?
Yeah, played for 2 years community college and then had 2 great years up at UAF. And, yeah, he still plays. Yeah, I've had to play against him a lot. We used to play together on the same team in the tournament, and now he plays on a different team.
Well, I saw you playing too. You keep going all year long, and I love watching you at gold medal. But I watched your game that night as well. Another pair up by Emmett Dunaway at the free throw line. It's now 11-10, so we've got our 3rd lead change of the ball game. And those are fun to keep track of, so we're going to mark down 1, 2, 3. We were tied at 7. It's now 11-10 in favor of the Braves over Lathrop. And they're going to try a long 3 from the right side. That one up by Jacoby Johnson. He just made one from the left, but this one's a lot more arch, and it's way short.
Didn't quite have his feet set. He got pretty excited at first one. He had nothing but net. This one barely hit the rim, but his feet weren't set. He just wanted to get it off and see if he could go in again.
You play all year long?
No. I wish I could. Well, no, I don't. October through March, roughly, is when I try to.
Inbounds pass.
Commercial fishing is kind of hard to.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about a lure out there. Nice shot up and in by, was that Carter Mahler?
I believe so.
Yeah, Mahler got it, number 32. I thought it was 33, but there's not a 33, so now it's a 12-11, and we got our 4th lead change. So if we come up with this, and I can tell you that the highest statistic in the game is lead changes, I'm going to be tickled to death. And Emmett Dunaway shoots one up from the right side, but I think Perkins waved it off.
Yeah, he waved it off. He called it on the ground, but he's still going to get some. He's going to get a couple free throws here. They're already in the double bonus.
Anthony Perkins Jr., Dennis Verlandry, and Moose Sims over there, your 3 officials in this game tonight. Emmett Dunaway at the free throw line. Not a stranger to making them, and he just makes another. Ties it up at 12. Our second tie of the ball game. We were tied at 7, now at 12. We've had 4 lead changes. We could have 5. Taking his time. Up in, and that one's good, and we do have 5, and it's a 13-12 game with 6:20 to go in the first half of play. Outlet pass in from Tyreek Luke. Goes over to Jacoby Johnson. Johnson down in the right-hand baseline. Gives it off to Mahler. They're going to work it back around inside, and that wasn't Mahler. That was number 10 over there, Jace Johnson, to pass it around. Those guys look like they could be brothers, actually.
David Dock and
no, Mahler and Jace Johnson on the other team. Mt.Edgecumbe ended up with the ball. There, Jeff Adams saves it, and he's going to get shoved. Are they going to call a jump on that?
Yep, for sure.
So I think, what did Jacoby have him tied up, and then he got a little shove from Jace, but they called the jump?
Yeah, I think they had it tied up, and I think Adams was a little off balance, and Jacoby was leaning forward. And looked like he kind of got pushed, but I think he was just off balance.
All right, there you go. So we're back in bounds. It'll be Lathrop to come in with 5:39. They'll go over to Jacoby Johnson, right-hand high post. He's defended by Frederick Myers back in. Back out, they're going to go to Tyreek Luke. Tries a jump shot from three-point land over the top of Myers. Shot misses. Emmett Dunaway gets the rebound. We have a whistle and a foul. That one called by Perkins.
It's going to be a long game with how many fouls are already out there.
It is. We've got 10 against the Malemutes and 4 against the Braves. So we've already got 14, and Emmett Dunaway's third trip or fourth.
This is his fourth trip.
Fourth trip to the line. How many's he made?
He's 5 for 6.
Want to make it 5 for 7.
I knew you were going to ask me that, and he was going to miss it. So.
Clock stopped at 5:28. Pace has slowed down dramatically. It's amazing what fouls will do to a game and your stamina and your everything. 13-12, ooh, and he misses that one. Goes after his own rebound. We've got a scuffle underneath. Loose ball. Who's going to finally pick it up? Still loose. Finally going over. Oh, and it ends up in the hands of Frederick Myers. And he can't put it up. He tried, but it wouldn't drop. And the rebound's cleared off, and the outlet pass goes over to Tyreek Luke. Luke will bring it down for Lathrop. Comes over back, gives off to John Rones. Rones is going to try a 3. That won't go. Follows his own shot, but it's picked up by Luke in the paint. He puts it up. Won't go. Another nice conversion attempt, and that one will drop, and that was
Rones.
Rones got it. 14-13. Lead change number 6. And a 60-second timeout on the floor. We'll take a break as well with 4:47 to go in quarter number 2. It is the Malemutes from Lathrop, 14 up out of Fairbanks over the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves right here at B.J. McGillis. They trail by 1. Back in a minute. Welcome back with 4:47 to go. And boys basketball action coming your way over AM 1230 KIFW. We're live over at the Mt.Edgecumbe Gym. And Mike Clasby along with Andrew Frisky as we watch the Braves trail by 1. We've had 6 lead changes, and we might have 7 if that one goes in by Jeff Adams, but it won't. And the ball ends up knocked away over into the far side bleachers as Archie Young is hollering across the way to Frederick Myers to tell him how to circle it around. And the inbounds pass will go into Keith Johns back in the game. Keith Johns tries to work it down under. Oh, let's see. Emmett Dunaway's going to go up to the top of the bleachers to have a look around over there.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting play there. Emmett, I thought he was going to throw it out. He got bumped a little bit, and he thought he was going to get a call, but just didn't even try throwing the ball. I just carried it with him and about 4 flights up the bleachers.
Back we go as the ball goes over to Lathrop, and a long 3 up by Jacoby Johnson. His shot missed. He's made 1 of 3 now. 2 of them he tried from the left side, 1 from the right. Thinks about another one. 5'5" freshman. The guy is not afraid to shoot at all for a young guy.
He is not.
Shot laid up by Lathrop will miss on a layup from the left side. Rebounds cleared off by Dunaway, and then he gets double teamed. He's got Tyreek Luke on him along with Carter Mahler. Tyreek gets his 3rd, and he's not happy about that. He had 4 fouls in last night's game.
Yeah, he's got 3 already, so he's definitely working that direction.
Get some bench time when you do that. Frederick Myers is going to come out. Or is he coming over to talk? Oh, they're going to shoot free throws, so he's coming over to talk to Coach while Emmett Dunaway goes to the free throw line.
Yeah, so far only 1 field goal for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves tonight.
Wow. Next one's up and misses, so he's now 5 for 8, I think. Since I jinxed him last time.
5 for 9.
5 for 9?
Yeah.
Well, he better make this one, then he'll be 5 for 10, and that'll be a nice 50%. And that'll tie the game at 14. And it does.
6 for 10. Yeah, he was 5 for 9, now he's 6
Oh,
for
5
10.
for,
Now he's 6 for 10.
Oh, 6 for 10, right. 60%. Well, that's nice. That's a 10% difference in your favor. 14-14, all tied up with 3:14 to go in the second quarter. Back down we go. Lathrop with the ball coming over, and it'll be Jacoby Johnson to set it up. Jacoby will go over to Kyler Hall back in. They move it all the way around in the corner to Jacoby. Then inside, turnaround Muller up in over the top of, is that Adams or Brown? Shot over the top of Adams. Shot missed, ball went out of bounds. They're going to say it came off of Jeffrey, and so it will be Lathrop's ball in. 3:25 left to play in the second quarter. This is a long quarter of basketball. Then we work it underneath, and it will go over to John Roans in. Roan's not able to make it. Gosh, Jacoby thought about shooting another three, but didn't. He'll come back over, give it to Kyler Hall on the left side, back to Jacoby on the right. They work it into Roans, into Mahler. Foul. Who gets it? Jackson?
That was Drew Jackson.
6'3" sophomore for Mt.Edgecumbe comes up with his first foul. So 3:07 now. So did you say something about no field goals in the quarter?
One field goal in the whole game. Yeah, none in this quarter. They had one in the very first points of the game were by Emmett, and that was the only field goal. The rest have been free throws.
For Mt.Edgecumbe?
For Mt.Edgecumbe, yep. And on the opposite side of things, Lathrop has 0 free throws. They've missed all their opportunities. They've shot 4 times and missed all 4.
Wow.
Yeah, and
They've got, what, 2 threes?
4, 5. They have 6 field goals. 2 of those were threes.
Okay, there you go. 2:55 to go, first quarter. We're tied at 14. This is a surprisingly low-scoring game for me, but we've got a lot of turnovers and a lot of fouls. We've actually got 16 fouls in the first half between the two teams. Dunaway works it down the baseline. Fadeaway jumper. That one up, and it will not go by Drew Jackson. And the rebound's cleared off by Lathrop. They're going to come down in a travel by number 3, John Roans, a 5'9" junior. Hesitated to hold himself up, but he was committed to shoot. He just drug that pivot foot.
I'm watching the faces of both coaches, and they're just like, ah. Oh. And there's another turnover.
Nice steal.
By
Stole it.
Jacoby.
Yep, Jacoby Johnson stole it right out of the hands of Keith Johns and turned around and laid it up for 2, and now it's 16-14. We have our 7th lead change. And the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves throw it away. They're getting rattled now and taking advantage of the turnovers are the Lathrop, and Mekhi Brighman's back in. They'll bring it down. They go to Jacoby and passes it away, and a whistle and a foul called by Verlandry on the far side. And that's a charge going against Jacoby Johnson. And that's his first foul, and that stops the clock at 2:08. Emmett Dunaway coming over to sit on the bench. Archie Young having a stern little discussion with him. I'm sure he's trying to get a point across as we come down, and Jeff Adams will get the pass from David Dokes back to Adams, now over to Bear Brown, and stolen right out of his hands by Jacoby Johnson. Down, hesitation, holds up, layup, off balance, loses the ball. No foul. Rebound, or the loose ball's picked up by Bear Brown. Brown will bring it down. R.J. Ultrambean's back in, and ooh, and the whistle and foul. They didn't call that. Wow. We had a wreck at midcourt, and right there, Moose Sims was on it. We come the other way, and a charge again as we just continue getting fouls. That's going to go against, I think that's going against Mekhi.
Yeah, Mekhi. Yeah, that was Mekhi Brighman there with getting the offensive foul called on him.
That's 2 of them in the last couple of minutes by the Malemutes, and that turns the ball back over. We're down to 1:29. Bear Brown almost loses it away as RJ tried to pass it into him. Now they'll go down the right side. They're going to give it off to Jeff Adams. Can't shoot, back out to Johns. Left hand corner, pass, shot up and in by...
That was R.J. Ultrambeans.
Gets a 3. Now 17-16. Another lead change and a 1-point lead with 1:07 to go.
First field goal of the quarter.
There you go. Back we go with John Roans. I thought we had a 1-point game, and they had a 3. That should be a 2-point difference. Did they only call it a 2?
I thought they said 3, but maybe it was just...
Well, they only put 2 on the board. We'll have to check it out as we get down to 46 seconds. What's on the board right now is 17-16, a 1-point lead by the Braves. And we get a foul down on that end against the Braves, and going to the line will be Lathrop. R.J. Ultrambeans gets his second foul. Going to the line, I think for his first time, is Carter Mahler. Mahler is a 6'4" junior, puts it up, and that one will not drop. Misses the first. I guess, you know, one thing could be these guys are tired after 5 nights of basketball.
No excuses.
There's no excuse for these youngsters. I was just thinking that exact same thing as they missed 2 at the free throw line. Back out Jacoby Johnson. He's top of the key. David Dokes kind of coming out towards him and giving his distance. They'll work it down in the right-hand corner to Mackay Brigham. Then they come back out as they go 1, 2, 3 over to John Roans wearing number 3. Back to number 1, Jacoby. Looking over at number 2, Mackay Brigham. That's where I was getting the 1, 2, 3 because that's where those passes went on the numbers on the jerseys down to 18 seconds. Jacoby's going to just use up the clock and then take a long 3 from somewhere, I guarantee it. And he'll decide, oh, he's not. He's going to pass it over. They go down underneath. They give it to Kyler Hall on the baseline. Back out to Jacoby. 6 seconds left. 3 from the left-hand corner. Air ball. That one up by John Roans. Rebound Braves. And a valiant effort, but a futile effort from midcourt by David Dokes on a 3. And that's going to end our first half of play with the Braves up by 1, 17-16. We'll be back in 2 minutes with your halftime recap. 2:52 left, 38-18 in the final score. They picked up 7 more points, 45-18. So the Lady Wolves whooped on the Lady Mariners from Homer tonight, Andrew, and won that one handily, 45-18. That's what I was talking about, those lopsided games. They're so frustrating to have for everybody, I think.
Yeah, he's had those days, you know, too. It sounded like it was a little closer last night, but Sitka makes good adjustments. That's Coach Blumwick does a nice job over there, and they make good adjustments, and that, yeah.
That was fun to watch them last year up at State. Okay, we're back in action here. We're at halftime. Welcome back over AM 1230 KFW as we bring you boys from Lathrop going against the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves here at BJ McGillis Gym, and it's a 17-16 one-point score differential with Mt.Edgecumbe in the lead at the end of the first half. And I just was talking to Coach Match Wilkin. I didn't catch up to Archie, but he says we need a different second half here. This one. So,
yeah.
16.
I think both coaches would hope for that.
Oh, I'm sure they do. It wasn't a really great game. I think he said the free throw opportunity, or free throw efforts, were 16 for Mt.Edgecumbe and 6 for Lathrop.
Yeah, and they did not make one.
They went 0 for 6, and Mt.Edgecumbe went 10 for whatever they went. Total 10 for 16, I think. So, anyway, a whistle and a foul to start it off, and that's going to be the second foul against number 44, Drew Jackson, and we switched directions now as Lathrop is going left to right. So in our first half, we were tied at 7, 12, and at 14. We had 7 lead changes, actually 8. And right now we have a 1-point lead. He missed the first free throw. Seconds up, he misses 2. Rebound cleared off Emmett Dunaway all the way down there all by himself, but not all by himself, as picking it off is number 5, Stanley John, who's in for Lathrop, his first time in, and he intercepts a full court pass and brings it back down and sets it up. He's got it on the right side. On the left-hand dribble, he'll pass off top of the key as he goes over to Carter Mahler. Mahler looks left, goes right. Coming out defend Frederick Meyer. Passes over. Now he'll give it off to Jace Johnson. Johnson gives on the far side to Makai Bregeman, who tries to work it in. Mt.Edgecumbe in a man-to-man. They switch around. Or are they in a zone? They're not letting anything inside, and the minute I say it, here we go, and driving from the left-hand baseline, and a nice little layup is Makai Bregeman, and the 6'0 junior gets 2, and we have our 9th lead change, and it's an 18-17, 1-point lead by the Malemutes. Then they cause a turnover, and they're going to get it back right underneath their own bucket.
Yeah, third turnover already in a minute and 11 seconds to play.
Outlet pass goes out to Stanley John, who gets a screen. He'll come out top of the key. He'll set it up. Graham Wappett in now. Wappett back over to John on the right side. John comes out to the right-hand high post underneath Wappett. Then they go clear down on the other baseline, and then coming to drive along and get the pass is going to be Michael Fernandez down the left side of the lane. Shot misses, and whistle and a foul and on the conversion, and Carter Mahler gets fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, third foul on Drew Jackson there, and just a tic-tac foul there. He probably shouldn't have called. I mean, he should have called, shouldn't have committed.
Drew Jackson, 6'3 sophomore, comes over from Cake to Mt.Edgecumbe. 19-17, first free throw's up, and we have a 2-point lead. Next one's up in the air, that's going to be short. Tipped away, right back into the hands of the guy that shot it, Carter Mahler. Mahler will give off to Stanley John. John will bring it over now, gives off to Graham Wappett. Wappett works it around to Stanley, drives the lane, not the lane, comes over from the left side baseline out about 7 feet, then drives right into the paint, puts it up in, and it's a 21-17 4-point lead. Now the Lathrop Malemutes are putting on a half-court press, and it's impressive because Bear Brown's tied up. He goes to Dunaway. Dunaway finally breaks it out, and he gives it over to Jeff Adams. Adams tries a jumper right in the baseline on the left side of the paint, and that one will miss, and scuffling after the rebound, and whistle and a foul, and the way Makai Bregeman is hitting himself, I'm wondering if he didn't get the foul.
No, the ball bounced off the top of his head for an offensive board. That's why he was hitting himself in the head. He had an easy rebound, and it went right to his hands and bounced off the top.
So number 2 foul against Adams, and an outlet pass in goes into Frederick Myers. Myers gives off to Dunaway. Dunaway out to Bear Brown, top of the key. Back to Dunaway on the left side. Over and back. I thought maybe Malemutes got a hand on it, but it was a pass intended for R.J. Alstrom-Beans at midcourt, and he steps over the line and back, and that turns it over. Another turnover by the Braves. The outlet pass comes in from Graham Wappett for the Malemutes. Wappett will go over to Stanley John, back to Wappett right side. Now he works it down to Muller. Muller drives in the lane, gets around Jeff Adams, tries to lay it up, little underhand, push from the right side, won't go. Rebound cleared off over on the far side by Emmett Dunaway, but he loses it back to the Malemutes. Off the glass, three-pointer left side. That one put up by Stanley Johns. It won't go. Loose ball. Who's going to come out with it? The little guy, Frederick Myers. He'll pass it over to RJ. RJ holds it up. Now he's going to dribble as everybody settled back down court, except for two guys at half court with the half court press, and that is Graham Wappett and Carter Mahler. And we've got a 30-second timeout called, I think, by Archie Young. He wants to settle things down. That stops the clock at 5:03, and we'll take a 30-second break with the Malemutes up 21-7 over the Braves. Back in half a minute. At LFS Marine Supplies, it's never too early to start thinking about compliance for the upcoming 2019 fishing season. LFS stocks flares, emerging troops, and Kents and Lathrop in need of a light raft, Jeep bird, or IBA. Category 1 and 2 Jeep bird with a 10-year replacement battery. Is Andrew's level okay?
Yes, it is. 5 seconds. 4, 1.
Welcome back, folks, for the final 5 3 seconds of this third quarter as we have the Lathrop Malemutes. First time to come to Sitka and play. Matter of fact, they said they're going to be here next year for the shootout. And talked to Coach Matt Wilkins. They said they really enjoy it down here, and that'll be nice to have them back. So we're back in play, and we got a whistle and a foul just like that with only 3 seconds gone after the timeout. And shooting two at the line for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves will be Jeff Adams, is picking up his first foul as Stanley Johns. How are we looking at foul cover? I think, didn't we say there was only one with 3 fouls in first half?
Yeah, Tyreek Luke has 3 fouls for the Malemutes. For Drew Jackson for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves have 3 fouls.
Okay, so we go back to the free throw line, and Jeff Adams. See, I wasn't looking to see if he made that or not. That one's up in and good, and he
made
did.
both
So,
of them.
okay, 2 for 2, and it's a 21-19. 2-point game now with 4:55 to go in the third quarter. Over on the far side, Mackay Brigham for Lathrop will give it off to Graham Wappett. Wappett's going to try a long 3, nothing but net. What a beautiful shot that one was. And all of a sudden, back with a 5-point lead are the Malemutes, 24-19. And they'll continue to put on the press, but the Braves finally capitalize on a little sneak behind by Jeff Adams, and he's all alone down there, and the sophomore gets a 2-pointer off the glass. Unscathed, 24-21, back within 3. Coming the other way, Mackay Brigham for Lathrop will work it inside as he goes to Wappett. Wappett turnaround jumper, left side, won't go. Rebound, loose. Picking it up is going to be Brigham on the right side. Back out to Stanley Johns, a 3-pointer up from here. That one didn't go. Emmett Dunaway gets the rebound. He's going to be fouled. 42, that'll be Michael Fernandez, a big guy for the Lathrop. Let's see, he's 6'3", along with Kyler Hall. I think they're the 2 tallest guys on either team. Oh, no, Drew Jackson's 6'3" as well.
Yeah, that's third on Fernandez.
Inbounds pass goes into Vladimir Bordakovsky is finally in. He got the inbounds pass. They go across the timeline, go over to R.J. Alstrom-Bean. He's going to get passed back, and John Roan's in there to knock it away. Breaks up the pass, didn't draw the foul. Inbounds pass will be coming in by R.J. Alstrom on the far side front court for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves. Going to look and go into Bear Brown, and Bear Brown has it stolen away. Coming out with it is going to be Jacoby Johnson. Jacoby will come back and gives it to Jace Johnson across the timeline. Back out top of the key to Tyreek. Tyreek passes over to Jacoby on the left side. Brings it back around. Tyreek drives in the lane in traffic. Dunaway's on one side of him and Bear Brown on the other. And Vladimir gets the foul. The 5'10" junior picks up the 4th team foul for the Braves here in the second half of play. As the Lathrop Malemutes bring it in. They'll go over in the left corner. Shot put up from Kyler Hall, and then Emmett Dunaway's in a little piggyback over Tyreek Luke.
Yeah, a little shot fake there and got Emmett jumping. I mean, Emmett's had some good blocks tonight, and Tyreek, good choice to get a little shot fake in there and got him up in the air big time.
So that'll be a foul on Emmett. That's his second, and that'll let Lathrop bring it in again underneath their own bucket. In by Tyreek Luke as he comes into Jacoby Johnson. Jacoby whistle foul. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think he had his hands up, but he pushed up into him. And
so that's going to go against Vladimir again.
Yeah.
So he gets 2 in a row just like that in less than 30 seconds. Tyreek will inbound it when he finds somebody open, and he does. He comes over to Stanley John. Oh no, that's not Stanley, sorry, John Rones brings it out, goes to midcourt. Back on the near side, Tyreek down on the baseline, off to Jace Johnson. Back out to John Rones, back to Tyreek, right side of the circle. Now they're going to go left side. Jacoby thought about 3 but didn't take it. Goes back over, gives it to Hall, back out to Jacoby. To John Rones in the lane, drives right down the right side in traffic, and the 5'9" junior picks up a nice layup, 2 points, and it's 26-21. Back with a 5-point lead as we're under the 3-minute mark of quarter number 3. Out at midcourt, that press is causing these guys some problems from Mt.Edgecumbe. They finally work it away, get over in the right corner. Underneath, in the paint, trying to get it to RJ, and RJ has it slapped away, and
I believe it was on Rones there. He had his hand on his arm. Rones is quick.
Yes, he is.
Quick first step, but he's got quick hands as well.
Well, between him and Jacoby, I don't think there's probably any 2 guys that are any quicker. Maybe David Docks. Inbounds pass to Dunaway. He's all alone. Nice move as he gets away, cleared away from Kyler Hall. Emmett gets 2, and it's 26-23. Brings him back within 3. Mt.Edgecumbe trails with the lead and with the ball is Lathrop, who brings it down, and thinking about 3 at top of the key was Jacoby Johnson, but he decides not to. They have a travel.
Yep, there's a travel.
By Tyreek Luke, who got the pass from Johnson.
He took a step before he put the ball down.
2:14 here in this quarter. That press is working pretty good. It's just causing Mt.Edgecumbe, they can't quite figure out how to get it across. There we go. Oh, and they turn around, and that's the pressure that causes you. Just got to take that extra split second to think. They threw it away again, and coming back down the other way, and throwing it away one more time. But I think Jacoby's going to be fouled.
Yep. Yeah, R.J. Alstrom with his 3rd foul.
1-1 in effect now as the Braves have 7 fouls, and Lathrop will go to the line, and that will be Jacoby Johnson there, the 5'5" freshman. And has he shot any free throws?
Nope, first free throws of the game.
Okay, let's see how he does from the line. That one's up and won't go. Rebound cleared off by Bear Brown, and then he tries to pass it, and getting a hand in there to break it up was Jace Johnson, very quick. And the ball goes out of bounds over in front of the cheerleaders on the opposite side of the court, right at midcourt. They're going to say it came off of the Bears, so it'll be Lathrop's ball in. Jacoby passes it in to John Rones. Rones will work it down in the left-hand corner. Now it comes back out and stolen by Bear Brown, and quick giveaway coming down all the way, and back-to-back turnovers, and another one stolen at midcourt, and we've got somebody on the floor in the backcourt, and Dennis Verlandry's going to call a foul. Bear Brown picks up his 3rd, and we'll march back down to Lathrop's free throw line.
8 fouls already in the 3rd quarter.
How many?
8. There's already 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, they are.
Switched this time. First half it was Lathrop with all the fouls. Now it's Mt.Edgecumbe.
Lathrop takes advantage of that, and John Rones gets a free throw, and it's 27-23. They're up by 4. We're down to 1:41 in this 3rd quarter. Well, thank you, folks, for staying tuned all week long as we brought you a lot of basketball. We've enjoyed the play as the second shot misses, and the rebound's cleared off by Jace Johnson, and he tries to go out to Tyreek Luke. It goes backcourt. Going to have some substitution. Drew Jackson will come back in for Mt.Edgecumbe. Going to sit down will be Jeff Adams as we trade 6-3 for 6-1. And it'll be the Braves ball in. underneath their own bucket. They went left to right last half. Moving right to left tonight here as a minute and 34 is on the clock. Inbounds pass is going to go into Bear Brown. He's going to bring it out top of the key as he goes over to Vladimir. Vladimir works it down in the lane. That one went down to Drew Jackson, tries a fadeaway jumper from about 8, and he's going to draw the foul. He'll step up the free throw line, and that foul will go against Lathrop. Kyler Hall. Hall picks up his third.
Yep, that's his third foul. It's the 15th foul for the quarter and a half.
For Lathrop, and a minute and 27. Shot up from left-handed shooting Drew Jackson. 6'3" sophomore misses from the line. He'll take his second coming your way. 27-23. Braves need every point they can get, and that one's up in and good, and he goes 1 for 2, and it's now a 2-point ball game. 27-25. And a minute and 23 as the clock ticks away, and Tyreek Luke has the ball down here on the near side. He'll work it down in the corner to number 2 back in, Makai Bregeman. Bregeman back to Tyreek. Screen set for Tyreek by John Rones. He'll come out, gives it to Jacoby Johnson, top of the key, back to Tyreek. He's going to try a 3 from the right side. That one won't go. Rebound knocked away out of bounds on the far side. They still haven't put that free throw up.
Well, I had it 23-27, so I don't know if they got it up before you looked or not, or what.
Well, that's the second time that I've been off from the scoreboard. And usually it's pilot error up here.
Yeah, that's the correct score.
Okay, good. Since he counted them up, there we go. A nice shot put in by Bear Brown. Gets a nice 2 in the lane as the Braves pass it around and worked it into him. He just turns around and does a nice little jumper, and it's a 27-26 one-point game now as Tyreek Luke loses the ball on the far side. A turnover by Lathrop, and it'll be the Braves to bring it in on the far side. R.J. Alstrom Beans will bring it in. I think he's going to look to go into Frederick Myers as he gets loose, gets away from John Rones, comes across the timeline, back over to RJ. RJ tied up by Tyreek Luke and stolen by Jacoby Johnson, and he's going to come down. Can he get in between the big guys and lay it up? No, he can't. He's going to lose it. And a block and a whistle and a foul, and it'll be Frederick Myers.
It's going to be the 9th team foul for the Braves this quarter.
28, oh, look at that. 26 Braves, 27 Malemutes, 28 seconds. Back to the line, Jacoby Johnson, 5'5" freshman, right-handed shooter, and that's not Johnson, that is, yes it is. And he misses it, but he gets his own rebound. Back to Tyreek Luke. Now to Johnson, thought about 3. Oh, and he makes a nice move, hook pass outside to Rones, back over Tyreek. He's going to shoot the 3. It'll go up, rims around, won't go. Coming out to clear it off, John Rones comes from the right, goes over to the left, 10 seconds on the clock. Frederick Myers out to defend, keeps Rones at midcourt. Rones waves everybody off, comes back now to Jacoby on the right side. Tyreek Luke on the baseline. Back out Rones, fadeaway jump, up and nothing but net. What a beautiful way to end a quarter for Lathrop. That makes it 30-24. They're up by 4. We'll be back with the final quarter in 1 minute. the Lady Kings from K-High in the game before that tonight. So it's been a good game thus far, or a good night here for Mt.Edgecumbe. Braves are going to have to pull this one out. We were tied in this one at 7. We were tied at 12. We were tied at 14. Early on, we ended up at 9 lead changes. And now Lathrop comes down. And was that Tyreek that laid that one up?
That was Tyreek Hill, yep.
So Tyreek Luke, after a steal from the Braves, comes down and rolls it off his left fingers just a little bit outside on the left side and just eases it in, and it's 32-26. 7-point ball game right now in favor of the Malemutes from Lathrop under the coaching of Matt Wilkin. And another steal and another layup and another 2, and the whistle basket's going to count. It could be a 3-point play, and all of a sudden Lathrop has blown this open here at the end of the third quarter and going into the fourth, and they lead 34-26. Our biggest lead of the ball game, up by 8. They could make it 9.
Yeah, just good intensity there by the Lathrop Malemutes coming out this quarter. You know, just getting in the passing lanes, and Edgecumbe just making lazy passes left and right.
Right-hand shooter John Rones, 5'9" junior at the line, pushes off, and that one's air ball. Reed cleared off underneath by, is that,
What was it?
oh, that's Bear Brown.
Yeah, it was an air ball, so it was automatic Edgecumbe ball.
Oh, right, there you go. Okay, RJ gives away to Dunaway and works it under to Jackson. Off the glass, up and good, and Drew gets 2 very important points for the Braves. 34-28, back within 6. 6:47 to go, as we got a long ways to go in this one. If Mt.Edge can come back and play like they did in the first half, well, actually, I guess not, because they only made 2 field goals. Back we come the other way, and it'll be the Malemutes. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful move by John Rones. He's got pretty good ball handling skills.
Well, he's got skills, he's got quickness, and he's finishing tonight too.
36-28, back up by 8. Now he steals the ball again. So there you go. He's making his presence known.
That was his 15th point of the game. And
how many?
15 points and probably about 10 steals.
Yep. Comes back over to Jacoby Johnson. Back over to Rones. Rones at midcourt. Jacoby Johnson goes to the left. Coming out from the right is Tyreek Luke. He'll get the pass from Rones. Rones will drop down. Switches places with Johnson. Rones back to midcourt. Johnson underneath. Tyreek Luke goes to Rones. Back to Tyreek. Now a pass inside. Jacoby's going to go in the lane. Puts it up. A little short. Gets his own rebound. Jump pass. Smart move over on the left. A 3-pointer put up from Rones on the left side. Won't go. Rebound cleared off by Bear Brown for Mt.Edgecumbe. In midcourt, Tyreek Luke reached in. Got a whistle. And that's going to be his 4th. 5:35 to go in this one, and a big lead by Lathrop at this point in time, considering how far apart we were at any other point in the game. An 8-point spread's a big one. Back we go, and the Braves work it underneath. And a nice turnaround jumper from the right side by Drew Jackson. He gets a pair of 2s, almost back-to-back, a couple plays in between, but it's 36-30. He brings his team back within 6. Back we go, Tyreek Luke, jump pass inside to Jacoby. Jacoby shut off by Bear Brown. Nice move by Bear. They'll go back out, Makai Bregeman back in, and Lathrop will work it around on the far side. He gives it off to Kyler Hall. Back on the near side to Johnson, down in the right-hand baseline. Lob pass over to Johnson on the left-hand baseline, and a foul's going to go against R.J. Alstrom Beans.
That's going to be his 4th foul, 10th team foul for the Edgecumbe Braves tonight.
10 for them, 6 for the Malemutes in the half. 4:59 on the clock. At the line is Jacoby Johnson. 5'5", freshman. Good ball player.
He didn't play yesterday.
37-30. First one's up. Now coming back in is Carter Mahler. Coming to sit down is going to be Kyler Hall. Back to the free throw line with 4:59. Shots up, in and good, and he gets a pair, and it's 38-30. Again in that 8-point lead, and the timeout over on the Matt Wilkins bench. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll take one as well. We'll be back as the Braves trail by 8, back in a half a minute. So with 4:48, back in again and a travel, another turnover. And it's not just one team, it's both. They're sharing them all the way down the court on both ends.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'd say I have to give the nod to Edgecumbe with the number of turnovers. They're winning the turnover battle this half in a bad way.
It's not one you want to win, is it?
No.
As we come back the other way, and Edgecumbe will go to Keith Johns back in, and he'll bring it across the timeline. Now goes out midcourt to R.J. Elstrom-Beans, over on the far side to Emmett Dunaway. Back to Keith, left-hand high post. Jacoby and Rones there to defend. Jump pass to Bear Brown, who came out from underneath. Bear will go to RJ. Jump shot up from 14, right side. Goes after his own rebound. On the missed shot, came off the back of the rim, right into his hands over on the right side. He'll give it off to Keith Johns. Johns is going to come out to Bear Brown at midcourt. So Bear's going to come out and help him out a little bit, and he tries to go to Dunaway, and another turnover on a bad pass. And that one was picked up by Mackay Brigham. Brigham will give it off to John Rones. Rones will bring it across as Mackay goes over on the left side. Tyreek Luke over there as well. Jacoby Johnson on the right side. That pass tipped away, but right into his hands. It came off of Bear Brown, but Kobe quick enough to pick up the loose ball. It's going to drive down the lane. Nice give and go. That was a beautiful play. Good heads up as Carter Mahler was open on the left. Jacoby looked like he was going to drive in and shoot it. He just slides it under the defenders. Carter puts it up for two. And it's now a 10-point spread. Biggest of the ball game, 40-30 in favor of Lathrop with 3:36 to go and a whistle and a foul.
I tell you, yeah, the Lathrop here, they got some young players that in a couple of years they're gonna be good. You know, he got Jacoby Johnson and Tyreek Luke, both freshmen out there, just doing a great job. And next year, you know, they'll still have John Rones in there, and you know they're gonna be good next year. But in the next few years, when those guys are upperclassmen, they're gonna be tough.
So the fouls on Rones. Going to the line will be Keith Johns. Johns' shot misses from the free throw line. In the 1-and-1, both teams in the bonus situation, and then they lose the ball away. Another turnover by Mt.Edgecumbe on an errant pass, and it's going to be Lathrop to come down the court. They've got a 10-point lead. They got 3 minutes and 15 to go, and we got a timeout called over by their coach, and let's see if it'll be a 30 or a 60. It's going to be one or the other, and Dennis Verlandry will come, and he tells us it's a 30. Welcome back, folks, over AM 1230 KIFW, as we bring you a long week of high school basketball. All over but the shouting, just about, with a 10-point lead here for Lathrop. I'm not a naysayer for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves, but if they keep turning it over, they're just not going to be able to close that gap. Lathrop's working it around. Ooh, they almost turn it over and back, but a nice recovery by Jacoby Johnson at midcourt. Now behind the back dribble as he'll give it over on the far side to Mackay Brigham, and they work it underneath to Rones inside, but Jacoby Johnson there to pick up the errant pass. It came off of Rones. Rones back and down. He does throw it away. Matt Wilkins is not happy with that play.
No, they've been doing a pretty good job this half. That's only their 7th turnover, and that was not giving us, I mean, they're up 10 with 2:47, but that's not what he was doing. He wanted to pull it out and burn some time off the clock.
Right. Emmett Dunaway will come away, give on the near side to R.J. Elstrom-Beans. He's going to work it underneath to Dunaway, and Dunaway on the give and go, which was an unusual one, but he makes it work. He comes from the left-hand baseline and puts it up for two, and it's an 8-point game, 40-22. Now Mt.Edgecumbe will put on the press, and Frederick Myers almost steals it away, but can't quite. As a quick pass from Rones to Jacoby, gets it across the timeline. Then back to Rones at midcourt. Now over to Tyreek Luke, defended by David Dock. Back out to Mackay Brigham. Back over far side, Tyreek Luke. Now they're just using the clock, doing the old circle of wagons on the left side. Oh, and wide open, but didn't shoot it. Jace Johnson had a chance. He was at the left-hand side of the free throw line, just right there at the corner of the paint, and decided to pass it back out. Probably just to keep using the clock, I would guess. We're under 2 minutes now.
Yeah, well, Coach Young's yelling at the guys to get up on him, and get right in them. If you foul them, that's okay, but you got to do something.
Oh, steal by Emmett Dunaway as an errant pass went right into his hands. He's going to come down coast to coast, layup up and good, and they're looking for a charge. Are they going to get it?
No, they got a block on that.
Yeah, there you go. Basket counts. Anthony Perkins Jr. says it's 40-34 and a chance for a three-point play when we come back after this timeout. We've got 1:36 on the clock. It's a 40-34 spread, and it's a 30-second break, and we'll take that right now.
Same last name.
Yeah, thank you very much, Karen Upcraft. You know that somewhere I got that a long time ago. His dad's Keith. He's Anthony. I should have known. Thanks for the correction.
Yep. You're welcome.
All you other folks out there snickering along with Andrew Frisky, have at it. All right, where are we at? Let's see. We're going to go back and see if Emma Dunaway can make that a three-point play in a five-point ball game. He just made two, and he was fouled on the shot. Pushes off, up, and rims around and won't go, and Tyreek Luke gets the rebound. Brings it down, goes over to Rones. Rones across the timeline to Makai Brigham over on the far side to Jacoby Johnson, 1:24. Tyreek, the Braves are going to have to foul here somewhere and stop the clock. Just got to figure out who's the best guy to foul. And I'll tell you, any one of those three ball handlers is not the one you want at the free throw line. Back we go, Rones. Rones inside to Jace Johnson. Johnson top of the key, gives it back out, top of the key to Rones. Now to Tyreek. 1:03, 1:02, 1, and we're under a minute. And we've got a foul. Stop the clock. Number 10, Chase Johnson.
That was
Frederick Myers.
Frederick
Right.
Myers.
So Myers gets his third. Clock stopped at 59 seconds. At the free throw line is Makai Brigham. And how about free throws for him?
He's 0 for 2.
Well, guess what? He's 0 for 3 now.
Yeah, Lathrop has made 4 free throws this entire game. I don't have a total for him, but the percentage is about 15%.
Yeah, there's another one they missed. They're substitute. Now, is he getting another?
I don't know what happened on that.
I don't either.
Maybe the first one didn't count.
I'm glad that happens to you up here, because I'm always wondering, why did I not get that? 6-point lead by Lathrop, trying to make it 7, and they do, as he gets his third attempt from the free throw line. I'm not sure why, but it's 41-34, 57 seconds, and a half-court press causes a turnover as a pass went to Myers, coming down, laying it up. It's in, it's good for 2, and all of a sudden it's a 9-point lead with 51.8. Going to the line will be John Rones, a 5'9 junior. Whistle and a foul, number 4 on number 10, Frederick Myers. And so that might have been the icing, Andrew.
Yeah, well, 51, yeah, that's going to be...
Takes it out of their reach pretty much.
The way that Lathrop's playing defense right now, and Edgecumbe hasn't even had a close look, is...
Okay, shot up, and another missed one by Lathrop, and Amit Dunaway has it stolen at midcourt. Rones is so quick, and another 2, and it's 45-34, biggest lead of the game. Dunaway gets a pass at midcourt, comes down, puts it up, spins around, lays it in. Perkins says, yes, it's good, whistle foul, and he'll go to the line, but it's not going to be enough. 45-36 cuts the lead, or the deficit for the Braves to 9, the lead by the Malemutes. 4th foul on number 10, Chase Johnson. And Emmett Dunaway is going to shoot a free throw. Pushes off. That's up, rattles around, and drops in, and it's 37-45. Still a 6-point difference, and we got a 60-second break, so we'll take it as well. 34 seconds left. We'll be back in a minute with the wrap-up of this one. At least he stopped it, so now Jacoby has to make it from the free throw line, which he just put one up in and good. So he gets his first on this trip. Gets a nice pat on the head from John Rones, who threw the ball to him. 46-37, 9-point lead. Malemutes want a double digit one more time, only they won't. As this one misses, ball's in the air, tipped away, whistle foul. Tyreek Luke, I think, is going to get it.
Yeah, that's going to be his fifth.
So Tyreek will foul out of the ball game with 29 seconds left. And we'll go to the other end of the gym, and R.J. Alston-Bean will shoot up a free throw. I don't think he's made much of a dent in the scoring column.
No, he had a three-pointer there in the second quarter.
So with 29.2 seconds left, his first shot misses. 46-37. Malemutes up by 9. Taking their time. Well, it's been a good week, Andrew. Thanks for coming up and joining me last night and tonight.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Next one up, and misses again. He gets his own rebound. He'll go over and almost losing the way, but they shovel it back to RJ, and he gets a chance for a two-pointer. And he's going to get fouled and shoot two, and that foul's going to go against number 10, Jace Johnson, and I think that's going to be 5 on him, so he's going to foul out. So Tyreek Luke fouls out first for Lathrop, and now Jace Johnson coming back in will be number 32, Carter Muller, to replace him, and going to the line will be R.J. Alston-Bean, as we have about an 8-minute fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely been this has been one of those longer games.
It has.
When you need a double bonus the first quarter, or early in the second quarter and the third quarter, it's going to be a long game.
Shots up, it's good. Next one's up, and he gets a pair, and it's now 46-39, a 7-point spread. We go down to 20 seconds, and it'll be Jacoby Johnson to come across on the near side. Almost loses it, comes back, and there is a pretty obvious foul by Vladimir Burdakovsky. Where's St. Paul?
St. Paul's out. St. Paul out on the islands.
Is it?
Yeah, by St. George, St. Paul.
Okay.
Yep, out north when you see Deadly Sketch.
So, right.
The Pribilof Islands.
So here we go. Mt.Edgecumbe Braves from Glen Allen, Kotzebue, Togiak, Pilot Station, St. Mary's, Emmonak, Dillingham, St. Paul, Anchorage, Mentasta, and Cake. And a couple of shots at the free throw line. They make one?
I don't think so.
Nope. And go back the other way as the clock is stopped at 13 seconds, and we go back, and at the line will be Keith Johns from Glen Allen. Is he in the scorebook yet? I don't think he is.
Front end of a 1-and-1 is all for Keith tonight. That's going to be long.
That next one's up and won't go either, and so he'll try his second. So 20 fouls on the board between these two teams, 10 each, and there might be more than that.
Yeah, I think there's a few more. They stopped showing it
stops
at 10.
at 10. Next one's up and off the back of the rim as they were both too hard. Emma Dunaway gets the rebound, tries to shoot up over the top of Kyler Hall, but can't, but he tips the ball back away, and coming up with it on the near side, David Dock. And the ball's knocked away out of bounds right in front of the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves bench. The foul will go against Keith Johns.
Keith Johns, yeah. And Coach Young said, hey, it's 8-point game, 5 seconds to go. Come on.
So we march back down. At the line, number 3, John Rones, 5'9" junior. So these guys have an 8.5-hour, 9-hour trip home tomorrow. They're going to leave on the noon flight out of here as that shot misses at free throw line. They fly to Seattle. They got a 2-hour layover there. Then they do a non-stop 3.5-hour trip back up to Fairbanks. And they hope they'll get there in time for the second half of the Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
It was either that or get up and take the 6 a.m. flight out of here, and they didn't want to do that. So Rones makes the second of 2 on the from the free throw line, and it's 48-39, back up by 9, and a shot attempted by Mt.Edgecumbe at the buzzer won't go, and that is going to wrap up this ball game. 48-39 in favor of Lathrop, the Malemutes, under the coaching of Matt Wilkins. 39 for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves under the coaching of Archie Young, and that is the
your unofficial scoring for this game for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves. Dave Dock 2, Bear Brown 4, R.J. Alstrom Beans and Drew Jackson each with 5, Jeff Adams 6. And leading the way for the Mt.Edgecumbe Braves, Emmett Dunaway with 16. Your unofficial scoring for the Lathrop Malemutes. Stanley John 2, Graham Wappett 3, Tyreek Luke 5, Mackay Brigman 4, Carter Mahler 7, and John Romes could have had 24 points if he made his free throws.